Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I have some pretty interesting information to share with you guys. A little bit about the future of Grand Theft Auto Online after Leslie Benzies left. There's some details you might not know about that are pretty exciting. Also, some search terms for recent Rockstar games, as well as what they're doing as far as who they want to hire coming up, as far as their job listings go. It's pretty crazy. All right, so let's cover the easy things first, then we'll get into the meat of our conversation today. Basically, a bunch of people have been tweeting at me, various other news sites, YouTubers, about Grand Theft Auto 6 actually appearing in the Google search bar. So if you actually Google right now Rockstar Games titles, and if you scroll over one to the left or right, you'll notice within a bunch of other Rockstar games like Red Dead Redemption, The Ballad of Gay Tony, there's going to be a tab for Grand Theft Auto 6. So please do keep in mind that Rockstar did not add this into the Google search bar. It was not added by them and clearly means nothing. This is not a confirmation for Grand Theft Auto 6. In fact, the artwork that you can kind of see is Grand Theft Auto, I think 5, maybe even GTA 4 in the background, and then a Grand Theft Auto 5 character. So again, it is not GTA 6. I'm not sure it is why it's wildly just popped up where it has. Again, and if you click on it, the only thing you're going to be taken to is a bunch of news sites for Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors and details and whatnot. So please do note that that isn't confirmed, wasn't added by Rockstar. I think that's just Google's algorithm for things associated with Rockstar games. So please do keep that in mind if you see it, and try not to freak out too much. And up next, we're going to briefly talk over some of the newest positions that Rockstar Games are looking for. So there's 3 of them. One of them is a junior mobile engine programmer. The next is a runner. And after that is a mission/technical scripter. So 2 of those are actually pretty interesting. The first, the mobile engine programmer, is Rockstar working on some sort of mobile variant of one of their games, possibly Grand Theft Auto, or they might be hiring this person to maybe improve the iFruit app or to develop another app, kind of like a third-party installment for Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto Online. We really don't know. The next one is pretty interesting too, a mission/technical scripter. Now, this might actually be for maybe a Grand Theft Auto 5 expansion or DLC, or maybe the next installment of Grand Theft Auto, mission/technical scripter. Again, I'm not going to look into that too much, but one that I thought was pretty funny is runner. So the runner position, if you look into it, and I'll try to leave a link in the description, is basically someone who goes and gets food, coffee, organizes the office for someone at Rockstar North. And what's cool about that is if you're over 18, you can actually apply for this position. So if you live close to the Rockstar North offices and want to be basically a coffee boy, an errand boy, going to get lunch for people in the office, you could totally do that without really any technical skills. So I thought that was pretty funny. However, let's move on to the meat of what I want to talk about today, and that is Grand Theft Auto Online after Leslie Benzies left. You guys know the $150 million lawsuit. I've touched on it in a few videos where essentially the ex-Rockstar boss/CEO basically got kicked out of his company. He went on a sabbatical and he wasn't left back in. And Leslie Benzies has been the mastermind of Grand Theft Auto ever since GTA 3. He developed GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas 4, the 2 DLCs for GTA 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Grand Theft Auto Online. All of those were essentially his ideas, his workings, and his planning. And he basically got kicked out of the company, and there hasn't been a whole lot of details that have been released, at least in specifics, but it's just been a whole crazy circumstance. And I know the biggest complaint for people over the past, I guess, few months, few days, few weeks, last few DLCs is the quality of Grand Theft Auto Online content. Has it been going down? And there might actually be an explanation for what is going on. So FunMW2 has given us some information on the GTA Forum site. I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description. And essentially, he's kind of laid out the differences between Grand Theft Auto Online run by Leslie Benzies and Grand Theft Auto Online run by the Housers. So he states, let me explain it to you. Contact missions were done via the Benz, and adversary modes were essentially added via the Housers. And he follows up by, we need the Benz. So basically, Leslie Benzies wanted to build Grand Theft Auto Online via contact missions, and the Housers have said, no, let's build Grand Theft Auto Online via adversary modes. And as you guys know, I've kind of stated in previous videos, I think the quality of these adversary modes have been going down ever so slightly. Now, there have been a few good ones like Sumo, but for the most part, that's a relatively simple game mode. But it seems like that's all Rockstar have been adding lately. Ever since, I guess, the Lowriders DLC, it's pretty much been all adversary modes. That seems to be the only thing we're getting in every DLC, whether it's the January 2016 DLC, which half of that was an adversary mode, the Valentine's Day DLC, half of that was an adversary mode. You know, everything we've gotten after the Lowriders Custom Classics, it just seems like so many repeat adversary modes, and that seems to be the effect of Leslie Benzies not being at Rockstar anymore, because when he was there was a big focus on contact missions and trying to involve some of the other single-player characters. You guys know all the contact missions revolve around single-player characters. So that was a great way to get them involved in Grand Theft Auto Online. I think the contact missions obviously offer more money and RP. You know, when they did the double RP and money contact mission week, that was amazing. You forget how awesome the contact missions are, and it's just a shame that no new ones have really been added into the game, and that might be a direct result of Leslie Benzies not being at the company. But wait, there's more. You know, I don't want to sound like a sales pitchman here, but FunMW2 also talks about some more information. So he basically states that Heist and Executives and Other Criminals, the development for that started in early 2014, which means that those DLCs were crafted primarily by Leslie Benzies, and that would leave Ill-Gotten Gains and Lowriders and the free mode events to the Housers. So when you take that information into consideration, it is pretty interesting to maybe see that's when Grand Theft Auto Online takes a downhill slide. To some of you guys, you might think that, because in my opinion, the best two DLCs I think Rockstar have ever released for Grand Theft Auto Online were the Heist update and Executives and Other Criminals. The Heist update was clearly amazing, brought 5 new detailed heists into online that we could do with our friends. It was pretty incredible. And Executives and Other Criminals was awesome. Not only did it introduce new places to live outside of apartments, yachts, the VIP system with VIP works and challenges, it was a great DLC. Executives and Other Criminals was awesome. So it seems like Heist and ENOC were developed by Leslie Benzies, at least under his watch, and it looks like Ill-Gotten Gains, Lowriders, and Free Mode events were all developed by the Housers. And you know, there isn't anything wrong with Ill-Gotten Gains and Lowriders. I think Ill-Gotten Gains was a fine DLC, but keep in mind, that's when things started to get really expensive. I mean, you had the T20 and the Osiris released back to back, which really was a bummer for a lot of people because they released the Osiris, which became the fastest supercar in the game. And then 3 weeks later, they released the T20, which is the most expensive supercar. And it was like it was even faster than the Osiris. So it's kind of a slap in the face. And that's when things started to get expensive. They also released Lowriders into the game. And don't get me wrong, Lowriders is super cool. I really like it. I just think they drug out the Lowriders way too far, and I think they went way overboard with it, and that might have been a result of how expensive the Lowriders are to ultimately customize. And then the free mode events. And the free mode events are cool, but they really never seem to work for me. And it almost seems like no one is interested in them. Now, that might be me not playing necessarily in a ton of public lobbies that are full with 30 players. Half of that kind of has to do with the servers. Half of that is me really not trusting anyone in a public lobby whatsoever to act normally. But every time I do them, there's always like 2 or 3 people competing in them. So I'm not sure if it's just a systematic thing or if it's a population thing, but it looks as if, in my opinion, the better of the Grand Theft Auto Online DLCs were developed by Leslie Benzies and less by the Housers. So overall, to kind of sum up this conversation, am I worried about Grand Theft Auto Online? You know, who knows? I think there's been a lot of great DLCs that have come out, but it is interesting that Executives and Other Criminals came out, even though Leslie Benzies has been gone from the company for, at that time, almost over a year. So who knows? I don't know what we're going to be getting going forward, but it seems like we've just been on a slow kind of crawl getting out of these Lowriders and adversary modes, and I really think we need a big DLC to kind of get us juiced up in Grand Theft Auto Online. So am I worried about GTA Online going forward? Maybe a little bit. I'm sure everyone is. I think we just need a big DLC to boost our confidence and our spirits, and I think that'll put everyone on the right track. Now, fun fact before I end this video, did you know that Leslie Benzies was wearing a kilt in the video I showed off earlier? How awesome is that? What a boss. I love Leslie Benzies, man. And I didn't notice that the first time I was watching, but when I was going back editing this video, I was like, that dude's wearing a kilt. So that is awesome, and I just noticed that, so I wanted to share that with you guys before we ended the video. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. Let me know what you think of everything we talked about in this video. I think it's pretty interesting. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.